Hello and welcome to another episode Into the Deep, a podcast where we welcome guests and share stories about life and faith. Our guest for today is none other than Dr. Anthony Rahayel from No Garlic, No Onions. Dr. Anthony, welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's such an honor.
We are honoured to actually have you. It's so nice to, I've met you before in person, but I watch a lot of you and I still follow a lot of what you do on YouTube, particularly when you're in Australia. I actually love when I see when you're in Australia, the people that I know that are in hospitality or just other businesses that you go and showcase. So for me, it's a great honour to be able to interview you today. So thank you for your time. I want to start, obviously, when I introduced you, it was as Dr. Anthony Rahayel. There's a backstory to that. Can you explain to us the doctor part, your career prior to being a food blogger and I suppose travel ambassador for Lebanon and probably other countries as well? How did you start out? You were a dentist, is that correct?
Graduated in 2005, dental surgeon at the Lebanese University, and then did 4 specialties in hypnotherapy, in surgery, pathology, laser and dentistry, and implantology. So studied for around 9 years and then worked for around 13, which people don't know about. So I'm not only a graduate in dental surgery, but I've worked hard and long and studied a lot. I was the first one to introduce laser and dentistry in the Middle East, and the first dental surgeon to learn hypnotherapy and hypnoanesthesia. I enjoy it. I loved it. I'm all into surgeries. I love doing surgeries, implantology, cutting, sutures, etc. Skipping the details. And then in parallel, I wanted to do something different. In parallel, in 2012, started the food blog called nogarlicnoonions.com. It was a simple food blog, one of the first in town and probably one of the first in the Middle East, where someone goes up and writes honest reviews. And I was fed up of bad advertising, of wrong advertising, of lying advertising to people. So anything you see on the streets, or used to and still on, unfortunately, and claiming to be the best manouche and the best hummus and the best chicken and the best etc., are people who have money making the rich go richer. And then always thought, why not give the truth? What people are entitled to know, the original things, the original and honest things. Can you go? Is it good? Was it bad? Etc. So I started writing reviews in English, even though I have studied French at school. So I started writing in English, learned English more and more about the whole experience, from valet parking all the way to waiter, all the way to decoration, going into the single little tiny detail of things, all the way to taking a picture of the bill to confirm that I was never invited. Back then, 2012, 2 years in the making until 2014, still at the clinic between a patient and the other, writing reviews, and nobody knew who I am. So the country started saying, okay, who's this guy? Who are these reviews coming from? And then it was so pleasant, so enjoyable. It made a huge difference in the industry, but I was not satisfied enough. I wanted to go more. So I didn't want to be the English speaking to people who have an iPhone or a modern phone. I wanted to go deep. I wanted to be viewed and listened and making a difference in the kitchens of houses. And this was something I always said. بدي يحضروني بالمطابخ. So I wanted to be seen in the kitchens. And what I meant by that is I want the old lady to watch me. I want the family to unite around me. I wanted to show the world what is Lebanon, who is Lebanon. And at the clinic, I had 4 televisions. So I had CNN, International News, National Geography, Discovery Channel, and the local news. So all my eyes were all day long on Discovery Channel, National Geography, way before Netflix and all of this stuff, and way before YouTube and the vibe of YouTube. And I always watched the English-speaking travelers take you places. And I said, but I don't eat the same. He doesn't speak my language. He doesn't speak my culture. Why not us? Why not us going around? Why not me taking that camera and touring around and let people follow through the same vibe? So how can I protect my culture in a way or another? And all of this was a bit immature back then, still 2014. This has developed 12 years in the making. So went down to MTV, local TV station, and said, I want to do a TV show. was not the easiest of things. They didn't accept what I proposed. They didn't understand what I proposed. And the answer was, we cannot get advertising on that. Who would watch something positive? Who would watch someone eat? Come on, man. Said, okay. I continued on lobbying, continued pushing for it. And then 6 months after, I was accepted for a 7-minute TV show on a Sunday. And that TV show was no restaurants, no branding, no high marketing, just the places that people do not know about. And I can tell you a parallel story back then in 2012, when I used to go into restaurants and when I used to go to Mfadi or Mtouma or Muhammad and all of these places, hidden gems in Lebanon, they used to look at me and say, why are you filming the manouche? What the hell? It's just food. Why are you putting a camera in my face? What is this? And I built up to... Camera is not something you should be shy about. I remember the first time I walked in Tripoli. First of all, it was are you sure you want to do it? Are you sure you want to take a camera to Tripoli? It's dangerous. I said, no, I'm going to take 3 cameras to Tripoli. And I wear pink the first time. I remember, I wore pink. When the culture is all about black. Nothing with black, but I believe you understood what I meant.
I know.
So I went down, big smile, started walking around, taking pictures of people, taking pictures of vegetable stalls, meat stalls, knefe, bread. Everybody was, who the hell is this guy? Frenchy guy, touring around with the camera. And the episode was a rock and roll. Okay, whoa. That same day, I received a phone call from someone in Baalbek. Still a very, very, very dear friend. And he said, why not Baalbek? And I had the same answer everybody would answer. Me, camera, Baalbek? No, it's dangerous. Told me, Hussein, his name is Hussein. Anthony, I will pick you up in Zahle. I will show you what Baalbek is. Baalbek is the safest place on earth. And you will be shocked. Took the camera, went up to Baalbek, and became one of the closest friends and allies of this city. And I went out and said that famous sentence back then and reused by Baalbek. Baalbek مش بس القلعة. Baalbek is not only the citadel. Baalbek is amazing people. Baalbek is generosity. Baalbek is great food. Baalbek is where you need to be. And the ball started rolling. I realized that I was doing way more than I wanted to do. I was doing an impact way more than I wanted to do. Way more. And that little baby dream, probably God asked me to do it. I don't know. To put all my effort free of charge. Free, 100% free for the last 10 years. I'm not an MTV employee. I do not get paid by the TV channels. Free of charge,
really?
ever.
Wow.
To reunite Lebanon, to show our children who is Lebanon, to go into the kitchens of housewives staying at home and instead of watching the news and negativity and bad things and welcoming their kids at the end of the day saying, عرفتوا شو صار اليوم? What the hell happened today? It was about, whoa, did you know what are our plans for Sunday? And it created an internal tourism of letting Lebanese know their country more. While the most important part is showing my Lebanon, your Lebanon, everybody's dream Lebanon to the world, away from the news. Fast forward now, 1 month in the making. What do you know about Lebanon? Negativity, war, refugees. But wait, Lebanon is way more. And this is why we're continuing and I'm still filming Lebanon. And we're still doing live every Sunday on YouTube to show people living in Lebanon, small enterprises working, Mooney production, and lots of things. So in all that journey, which is a long answer, I'm sorry for that.
No, it's a beautiful answer.
It started by filming the villages, promoting Lebanon, and then it expanded after COVID to reuniting Lebanese success stories around the world or diaspora around the world. This is why I'm here today. And this is why I started traveling a lot. Considering all I do in Lebanon is for free, I needed to pay the bills. I needed to go beyond. And the idea was, okay, we are in Lebanon. I'm showing Lebanon to the world. Let me show the world, Lebanese around the world, to Lebanon. So they reunite. Lebanese accept the diaspora and accept why they left. The international diaspora understand what really happens in Lebanon way more than president and ministers and etc., parliament members. And this is how that bridge has been created on YouTube. 1 video a day, every single night at 9 p.m., wherever I am in the world, 14 years ago, and still ongoing, never skipped a night, ever. And sometimes we put 3 videos a day. And it went into everything. the main general dream, I would love to do that for free all my life. I would love to do that. Because I'm the Instagram for people who do not have an Instagram. I'm the Facebook for people who do not have a Facebook. And boosting businesses and bringing more money to the villages and boosting money production and boosting export of Lebanese creations to people who do not understand marketing, who do not have budget for marketing and do not know what an influencer is and why the hell would I pay you money to come in? So whatever happened the last year or two about anyone being an influencer and taking pictures and all repeating the same narrative, best manouche, best burger and best whatever, isn't exactly far away from what I wanted to do and still do, is showing us and connecting us to our businesses, to work more with each other, to support each other more, to reunite 16 million Lebanese around the world, if I can. This is my big dream. When we are not united enough, where we're not supportive enough, where we do not share enough, and this is from humble beginnings. Back to dentistry, 2018. I believe it's a God's will. I believe it's a God's will. I believe I had to leave. I believe I have to turn the page. I believe I had to choose. Giving my life to the world, giving my life to Lebanon, giving my life to the small families, giving my life to small entrepreneurs, versus staying at the clinic, working for myself, for my pocket, and for my growth. And I said, I cannot do both. I need to travel more. I need to do the villages 5 days a week. I need to wake up every day, and this is what I used to do before starting my travels before COVID. I wake up every day at 5, and every day I'm in a village. Every single day. Every day. So I wake up every day at 5, and my wife says, where are you going? I don't know. We'll see. Probably Psharri. I didn't discover the south yet. Let's do Zahli today. Oh, it's snowing. I'm going out. And so on and so forth. And all that rich heritage, I would call what I do heritage. All that rich heritage that you see on YouTube that people do watch today, young to connect with their roots, old to remember where they come from, families to know who they are, and all of that heritage has been filmed out of, I wake up at 5 p.m. when everything around TV now is planning. So when you say, okay, a Netflix show, how many people did film a Netflix show? 100 people. Minimum 100, planned in advance, 2 years of working, 2 editors, 3 authors. It was, okay, wait, great content, let's do it. Fast forward, last part of the answer. So I left my dentistry job in 2019. This is why today people do not realize how the hell is he on TV every day? How the hell is he on YouTube every day? How can he travel that much? So it was a personal decision. Accordingly, fast forward in 2012, from Meshwar, my original TV show, Meshwar in Lebanon, to Meshwar Belwadi. And Meshwar Belwadi came in to search for the roots of the Maronites, to search of the roots of Christianity in Lebanon, to search of the roots of who we are. How did we survive? How did 50 plus civilizations who came to Lebanon and still is Lebanon? How did the Christians survive for 400 years in Weda and Nubin? What is Lebanon beyond the beach and the nightlife and tourism, etc.? Meshwar Belwadi is super successful show. Super successful show.
Is it still going now?
It's still going now.
Okay.
That took me to the next level, definitely. That reunited me more and more with the communities around the world. That went into the heart and captured the heart of all Lebanese across the world, and probably non-Lebanese. Is a partnership with Mark Beiruti, a very dear friend, who came in with his know-how of nature, with Eli Ahwash, a very dear friend, who came in with his know-how of Christianity and churches and history, and together, and myself, tourism, food, people, happiness, jokes, etc., etc. So the three of us have created a show that was, okay, wait, whoa. When this should have been created by the Ministry of Tourism, or by the Patriarch himself, or by lots of other people. And still we're doing it for free, filming 1 episode a week. And when people said, okay, you did Weda and Nubin 10 times, khalas, fine. I still did probably a quarter of it. And when we say Meshwar Belwadi, is every single valley in Lebanon, because every single valley in Lebanon has a history that can go down to 7,000 years. And the Valley of Tannurin is as important as the Valley of An-Nubin and the Valley of Batroun and the Valley of Jebel and the valleys of all of them. So I invite everyone to watch them on YouTube. They're still being broadcasted on national television in Lebanon. And that's the journey of the doctor turned content creator.
Wow.
And all of the setups you see and all of the videos and all of the edits and all of the lighting and all of the good sound and all of these are 90% done by myself only. Again, God's will. I'm nobody. I'm someone who has better or more powers or different powers than others that God decided to put them in me, where I know and I can do the filming and the editing and the lighting and the audio and everything in between to create the Mashwar Bilweda, which you're going to watch and say, okay, wait, did he film all of this alone? Yes.
What an
Thank
amazing...
you for having me.
What an amazing story. That's all. Thank you for joining us today. What a story. I don't think I'm going to ask any better questions, but that's phenomenal. Honestly, you know, when I was thinking towards the end what you were saying about how you're just doing it on your own, and, you know, all of these production crews for like the likes of Netflix and MTV and all of these kind of things, I always think to myself that God chose people. What is it? He didn't call the qualified, he qualified the called. You know, and if you have a look through scripture, he often chooses the most unlikely characters to do the greatest things. Moses started, he asked him to read the 10 Commandments. Abraham was old, and he said, you're going to have many descendants after you. And, you know, many others as well. And so I think you touched on it, and I can see it very much from your journey and what's happened since, that I believe that God has actually called you, especially at this time. Like, praise God that it started when it did. You had a foundation from 2012. I think if you had started when the issues started in Lebanon, maybe you wouldn't have got as much traction, because it's taken you over 10 years to build that credibility and that following. But I think there was that purpose. You can really see, I could see it from when God was kind of planting those seeds for you at the beginning of that 2012.
It's very important for every single person to remind himself every morning, why me? This is the question I ask myself every single morning. And I ask everyone to ask themselves this question. Why you? Why are you rich? Why are you poor? Why are you strong? Why are you whatever? So it's very important for every single person reminding himself of why him, why you would act differently. If I'm smiley, why me? If I'm happy, why me? If I'm that energetic, why me? If I'm rich, why me? And every single why me has an answer to that. If you're rich, you need to give. If you're energetic, you need to show your passion. If you're happy, keep smiling and keep uniting and spreading smiles. If you whatever, and you meet lots of people around this world that are rich but stingy. Man, why you? Why did he choose you? And you cannot even open up the discussion with such a person, because basically they do not believe, or not, I don't know. Anyway, so believing in the Creator and being very open, I would say, your God, whatever your God is, your God might be Christian, your God might be Muslim, your God, whoever your God is. And if we believe in that one God, that one big Creator, this amazing aura and power, you need to remind yourself that he has created you and he has chose you with a certain purpose. And that purpose, I remind myself every day. So why me? Why did I leave dentistry? Why am I so energetic to film 12 hours a day and keep that? How can I eat that much? How can I take planes 250?
If you need help with the eating, let me know. I'll come with you.
250 days a year traveling around the world and still feeling like doing more. So all of these are why me, bringing you back to your faith and reminding yourself that you're no one. You're just a path delivering a message. And I remind myself every single day of living, and every single day I see the sun.
It's amazing. Yeah, I love that. I think it's a reminder of the fact that we die and don't take anything with us is a reminder of how little is ours when we are on earth. Money, you know, and I think it's beautiful, like what you said, to reflect on why me. It gives you that ability to understand that we're just stewards on earth. We're renting, or we're how can I say it? we've been given that gift, and we need to do something with it, but it's not ours. Yeah, that's very special. I always, in watching you, I've always reflected on the fact that it's never about the thing that you do. Like I think success is never just about. I mean, you're a food and travel blogger, and I use that in inverted commas for those who can't see the show. But it's never just about the thing that you do. There's a guy who's named Simon Sinek. He's like a leadership guru, and he's got amazing books about how to motivate employees and how to build great organizations. And he always speaks about, if you have a very powerful why, the how will always find a how. But if you have a great purpose behind it, it's almost like Allah bidabbir. And when I see you on YouTube, hearing your story now, and having met you, I can tell that there's a very powerful why behind what you do. The eating of the food is great. Obviously, that's really good, and the people that you meet. But I feel like there's something greater behind that. What is it?
It's it's very important and very simple in my eyes, or the way I live, is what can I teach? What can people learn? What can I learn? So in every episode and every day, every morning, I wake up and say, okay, who am I going to meet? And probably I do 40 to 50 people every single day, and new ones.
Wow.
What do I learn from them? So I come back home and say, okay, what did I learn today? I talk about it with my wife. I share it, and I say, check. I'll use it one day. Adds up to my computer. And 3, how much difference I can make in this world. Very simple. And then what people see is fun, learning, heritage, foundation, how to eat, origins of things, and a million other things. So it's a show. What people think is a show for them, it is. But what they don't know, it's a show for me. So it's, what can I learn? How can I be more intelligent? How many people can I see? How many trips can I take? How many countries can I visit? How many new perspectives can I learn from? And all of this builds up for me to give more. And every morning, back to the why me, is about, what can I share with you? Why am I here today? What make me drive an hour to spend 1 hour with you and then go another hour when my plane is in a couple hours? It's because I'm going to learn from you. You're going to learn from me. They're going to learn from us. And it makes a huge sense. And it's not about, مش فاضي ما عندي وقت, I would have slept an hour. Why are you alive anyway? So you see, so this is the why. And I always say, ask the universe. Your universe is different than anyone. So my universe is God, but your universe is different. So instead of blocking conversations with non-believers and say, did you ask God today? I don't believe. Wait, okay, ask the universe. Call it whatever you want. Mm-hmm. But that universe has created you. So for people, and I have this discussion with someone who said, I don't believe. You cannot but not believe. Fine, but okay, great. I won't push you to believe. But how have you been created? So let's start by the creation of yourself, and then ask that universe of what do you want. And as you said, you can get anything. If you want a car, you'll get the car. And if you want happiness, you get happiness. You meet people around you and they are, smile. God created me this way. Impossible. God doesn't create you this way. Impossible. You ask yourself not to smile. You ask yourself not to be happy. You ask yourself not to throw positive around you. We are sitting here like, that energy unites us, which you cannot see, which I cannot see, but it's clear. And some other people, when they enter the room, they suck up the positive energy. And I look at them and say, you can change that, but they do not know how. They do not believe. They do not see what it is. It's a very deep conversation, way beyond Anthony, the food blogger, and what we can talk about, and etc. But it's a lot of things that you understand around you and understand in this amazing thing called life, which is a game, and you need to understand the rules. Knowing the rules of a game, knowing the rules of chess, having more expertise in chess makes you win chess. And this is how it is. Life, expertise, understanding, appreciation, giving and taking. Oh, beautiful, man. Life is so enjoyable.
And you'd know that obviously from meeting so many people. Like I'd love to know what you've learned from the world. Like you've been to the world, you've been around the world, many countries. You've met so many people. What have you learned about civilization?
I have learned to start with unprepared answer, unscripted. I'm going to tell you what comes to mind. I have learned that you need to start by who are you and who are your parents. Unfortunately, you cannot choose your parents, and you cannot choose where you have been created, where you're born. So it comes as a package. If you're born in the desert, it's different than being born next to a water spring. Being born in a country with a sea is a huge thing compared to a country that does not have a sea. And it makes a huge difference, a long difference of opening up and being open and connecting with the world. Planes are nothing. It's the sea. It's the taking the boat, going around. It continues with what did you eat? How much love has been given to you? And all of these little tiny things. And then fast forward, okay, what did I learn from the world? When you meet someone, we study the person immediately. I can feel, I can understand, loved or not, traveled or not, mature or not, understands the world or not, or stuck in his own bubble. And then you fast forward to understanding the Lebanese community and what I call the Lebanese DNA. You can be fourth generation, born outside of Lebanon. You can think that you have become Australian. You can think that you have become too modern and westernized. But there's still that blood inside of you that will awaken one day. Without going into detail, that's a podcast of its own. I'll give you the last story. Last week, met a lady. She comes in, searches for me in Melbourne, and makes it a point to see me. She comes with a bunch of pictures of her heritage, of her grandparents, of the old days. Her great-grandparent lived in Lebanon. I'm not going to give you details, so we're not connect to her. Left Lebanon and went to Egypt. Back in Egypt, so grandfather now, lived in Egypt and changed their family name. After that, they migrated to Australia. Third generation, great-grandfather. At the age of 64, the lady comes in and says, I feel there is something inside me that's pushing for me to be awakened, for me to search for my roots. I came to see you. These are my pictures. This is my family tree. I come from this village. Tell me what you know. And we had the most blessing discussion of 2 hours, where the Lebanese DNA was reconfirmed in my brain and my studies for the last 10 years of who you are. So answering your specific question of what did I discover from the world, act with the Italian differently than act with the American. Do not judge the American, because this is how he has been brought up. Appreciate who you are as a Lebanese and the family values that they did not disappear. Understand that you can go to Lebanon وبتشتغل على البركة, على الضمير, which in the part of the world are more of the law. Be scared of the law. Do it because the law. Do it not to go to jail. There are very way differences in that. So in Lebanon, definitely there's the law, but there is, I will give you food like the way I eat. I will welcome you like the way I do. I will treat you like the way I do, which is not as much applicable around big parts of the world. And then someone that has been brought in a 300 square meter house has a different vision of the world and size of the world than someone living in Paris in a 14 square meter house. He feels tighter, he thinks tighter, he's smaller, thinking is smaller, and so on. The world teaches you amazing things when you know where to look at them. And all of these are hours and hours and hours of podcast, because every single subject is one alone of, okay, the size of a house, big house, garden, the house of receiving versus the house of living. And this, I've been to places. So when you go into a house, there is the house of bedroom, small living room. This is a house of living. You don't care to receive. And then your bathroom will be somewhere in the kitchen. Don't care. The house of receiving is big living room, big bathroom for the guests, and 3 bedrooms, or hidden up or hidden in, because it's a house of receiving, and it translates the character. It translates who you are and what you do. And all of these is for you to understand before going into that game, if you want to call it, and win it.
Wow. That is phenomenal. Honestly, I've never heard that before, but it makes so much sense. And that's why I think our culture, particularly in Lebanon, and it's more than a generalization, that we love the welcoming nature of embracing visitors and having long tables, and the food is a vehicle for the love and the welcoming and the hospitality.
Food is the international language of happiness and
Amen.
connections.
For me, that's that. Honestly, Dr. Anthony, that for me is food. I love food. People that know me, and you follow me on social media, so I'm sure you've probably seen my food post. I love food, but I love food not because of the taste only. It's important for me to have taste, but I feel like I'm in my greatest element in life when I'm sharing a table with my great friends or my family and we're eating good food. For me, that's my element. Take me now.
You want to understand the culture? Get invited to their restaurant or their home. I'm going to generalize. If you go to certain countries around Europe, you get invited to one chicken. And they ask you to get your alcohol with you. These same people, if you invite them back, you'll invite them to a table of 30 plates, full of colors, 2 salads, 10 appetizers, chicken, meat, and probably pork. Feed them alcohol and let them leave with a gift. So you can understand the values of people when they invite you to lunch. Or when you go out to do a business deal, which is usually done around lunch. Who pays? Who runs to pay? What does the person eat or order versus the other one? I would order a piece of meat, a big salad, 2 appetizers, just to understand the restaurant. I might eat half of them, but it's and share my plates. Sitting in front of someone who orders just that one, doesn't share, protects the plate, and feels like this is what I'm going to pay for. There's not someone I want to do a deal with. And all of these can start around sharing a meal, if the word sharing applies.
And you and I would do some great business deals, Dr. Anthony, because I order. I'm notorious. My friends have to put limits on me when I order because I over-order. But no, I completely agree.
Restaurant experience is an experience, is not food. So we go out
exactly
to
right.
experience. We can have food on a delivery platform.
That's exactly right. It's different, but when you get it delivered compared to when you're in the restaurant, isn't it?
Experience, so order more.
I want to just ask you, have you ever been to a country outside of Lebanon and people meet you and get to know you and say something along the lines of, wow, I didn't know that Lebanon was like that, or I didn't know that Lebanese people were like that? And if so, how does that make you feel?
I had lots of stories around the world. I wish one day I have the time to write a book about them. The unsaid stories of what was not filmed. The people I could not film, the people that didn't accept to be on cameras. I've had people who had cancer and survived just by watching the videos. I had people who, I met one last week, a lady, her husband came up with their son that has special need, and she looks at me and says, our son loves you. He cannot talk. He cannot react. I said, thank you. He said, no, wait. Our son was going to die. And by watching your videos, accepted food, understood food, and started again. I had St. Paul Hostel in Melbourne, which I visit every time I'm here. They unite, watch what I do, connect with their heritage, eat more, and the nun over there tells them, look how he's eating, do the same, etc., etc. I've had cancer survivors who come in. I had stories that made me cry, that unite after 3 years and say, grab my hand. I feel that energy that is, okay, wait, this grabbing, the hand grabbing is different. I look in her eyes and she said, yes, I survived cancer because of you. Okay, wait, whoa. Oof. And others. I've met Greek people who said, oh yeah, you're the Lebanese guy. Never knew your country is that beautiful. I've been stopped at airports several times by Filipinos who sell duty-free goods and say, oh, you're the YouTuber, Lebanon, beautiful country. I've been stopped by Indians, by a Singaporean guy, and told him, first question, why'd you watch me? You don't understand my language. And the answer is, I don't need to understand your language. The energy speaks it all. I met someone last week and he said, really, all of these, lots of things, the brain remembers the last things. And he told me, you don't have to speak English. I'm fine. I understand what you said. I would love to learn Arabic, Lebanese, but it says it all. So yes, alhamdulillah, we've played a huge role of showing the world the true Lebanon, the deep heritage of Lebanon, the non-war Lebanon, the loved Lebanon, the love in the villages, the Christianity in the villages, the beliefs in the villages, the iman, the faith, the hope, etc. And it played a good role. The welcoming I receive, thank you all, thank you. The welcoming I receive when I am in Australia or in America or in Canada or lots of countries is like probably more than what a president deserves. And I say, great, I'm gonna stay up to your expectations as much as I can, and you need to be very humble to accept it. You need to be very humble for people to understand who you are. The most beautiful thing someone can tell me is, wow, you're even better than on camera. Yeah, شو بدك كتير يعني. This is who I am, and that this is who I am is not something famous people do. And we meet in airplanes. I've met lots of them in airplanes. On an airplane, I would never put my earpods. I would never put my sunglasses because I don't have sunglasses anyway. It's because you cannot create a wall, a barrier between you and your followers and your fans. They are fans. They are followers. They are who you are. They made you. So you look at famous people and they are watching a book, putting a hat. The hell? You're nobody without them. And that is a big no. So when I meet someone and say, you're humble, say, yeah. Alhamdulillah, ahli rabbuna yani. So it's heartwarming. It's really heartwarming. It's
amazing.
It means everything.
How important has Nell and your children been in this? I mean, obviously, you know, when I just reflect on your story more and more, I can see how many things had to go right in order for you to be doing what you're doing. And that's how I know that it's from God, because, you know, for somebody else in your position, maybe their wife wouldn't have been happy for their husband to be traveling so much, or, you know, maybe their children would have needed their father more, or maybe financially you couldn't have left your profession as a dentist to go and have done this for free and all of that kind of stuff. How important has Nell and your children been?
Everything. They're 100% of everything, of the whole success. It starts by moral support. It starts by great education for the kids. It starts by the appropriate use of words. We've heard that, and definitely each one is going to relate. That one word you can send, you can throw, that can affect the whole psychology of a kid. If a wife, I'm going to say wife, man, because I'm a man. So if a wife looks at her man and says, in front of her kids, and says, يا زلمة بتضلك تاركنا. All you do is leave. Or while the man is traveling, she looks at her kids and says, I cannot do it alone. I have enough of him traveling. And you're done. Psychologically, the kids are done for life. And all of this is very important. Little tiny details. One word. Thinking that you're just venting. And then what happens to the kids? It starts by the one call you receive every day. It can be by Wainak, or keep going. I love you. Don't worry. I'm managing. See you in a couple of days. Counting the seconds. I can't sleep without you. Don't worry. And so on and so forth. So it's the little tiny details of support where you need to know what to say and what not to say. You need to really show support. You need to really take a step back and understand this guy has taken a path and you have decided to be married to this guy. And since you decided to be a support to this guy, you need to take it all. Take it all in. And she played an amazing, outstanding role. I would have never been able to travel. I would have never been able to be as energetic. I would have never been able to be as happy and satisfied if you do not have a wife, or if the second hand. On another hand, doing the best education for your kids, the kids play a great role of calling and supporting because they have been educated this way. So you feel kids that ما بدي أحكي معك, you left us. I don't want to talk to you. But a kid cannot think this way unless someone has told him to do this. And you see families being disrupted. Kids do not talk to their father. You left us all our life. No, I didn't leave you all my life. I had to work for you all my life. So all that balance is very important. And the wife plays a great role, super great role. And it can be reversed. Now, I'm not saying the wife is someone who needs to stay home and the man works. The wife can work, the man can be home, and whatever balance it is. understanding that we grow together a family. A family is a joint contract that we put a plan to do together for success. And what is success? Success can be here, success can be here, success can be here. Success can be depending on what are your objectives. When you work with a client, whatever you do, the first question you need to ask is, what do you want? What are your KPIs? A client wants you to be a showman. Another client wants you to remember people of Instagram account. Another client wants you to shout. Another client wants you to sing. Another client wants you to be very decent and be very respectful. And whatever you're going to do would look wrong if you don't do what the client wants. I'm talking in your field of work. So in the field of work of the family is, what do you want? Success, money, education, growth, happiness, and so on and so forth. So if you agree on what is success, great sentence, what is success? When I meet a client for the first time in my consultancy job, we sit and okay, what is success for you? I might come in with, we change the menu. And for him, he doesn't care. He wants followers. We start on the wrong foot if I don't understand what he wants.
What's success to you?
Success is people's love. Success is achieving my goals. Success is making my family and kids happy. Success is definitely not having money in the bank, is definitely not leaving money for my kids or real estate or whatever. It's living the moment in the best way possible. And every generation rebuilds itself in the best way. So today, I want to be able to buy anything I want, to give my kids the best happiness they deserve, to travel all across the globe with them, spend the best family time together, make people happy, continue on being able to be creative and productive, and let people reconnect with their roots more. So all of what I'm doing is success. What do I want more is reach more to achieve them all. So if being on Netflix achieves it more, I want to be on Netflix. If not. If traveling around the world with my kids needs to have a certain amount of money I need to raise, I'm going to work hard to raise that amount. So it's different. I would never have a goal that says my goal is to have 3 million in 10 years. And then what? To buy things. Let's rethink it. My goal is to have these things, and I'll work hard to achieve them while working hard to get the money for them. So it's the whole circle. And what you see is what it is. I am what I am. People ask me, how do you get visas all around the world? How the hell did you arrive to Australia? So I'm on YouTube. They know who I am. I am who I am. I film at home. I film with my kids. I have nothing to hide. So this is what it is. So success is keeping that smile rolling and happiness and hope and positive rolling and still arriving in anywhere here or anywhere and having that respectful welcoming of اشتقنا لك مش أهلا وسهلا اشتقنا لك.
To our beloved homeland in Lebanon, if you were the president, what would you do to change Lebanon to make it better?
I will start by acknowledging that Lebanon needs to be run like a company. Lebanon is one of the smallest companies in the world. It's even smaller than Microsoft, smaller than Apple, smallest than lots of other companies. Understanding, and as a land, it's smaller than a hunting land in Australia. We need to understand that Lebanon, to be run properly, needs to be considered as a company. As a president, I need to come as a CEO and have 10 great consultants that support each other, love each other, and understand each other, which are called ministers. The CEO and the ministers, the president and the minister, CEO and the consultants, will work hard together to reorganize the country into the best company, where in a company you need to protect the employees, in a company you need to grow, in a company you need to protect your wealth, in a company you need to have respect, in a company, and all of them are companies, you need to have access code, you do not throw on the ground, you respect each other, and you keep toilets clean, and so on and so forth, right? So imagine Lebanon as a company where we all work together. It's not about who you elect, it's not about Christians versus Muslims, it's not about everything. It's about 10 ministers, only 10, not 32, 10 ministers, knowing each other well and being friends with each other well, where every minister will start the work for the other to continue it instead of doing it and stopping it and going on the news and looking at the other minister and say, we did it, what did you do? We did it, what did you do? You're bad, we're good. So it's simpler than it is. We need to re-agree on what is the culture of Lebanon. We need to agree that Araq is part of the culture. We need to agree who occupied us and who not. We need to agree that we are independent. We need to agree that we have borders. We need to agree that we need to work with everyone. We need to agree that we do not have weapons on our land. It's an agreement. And the minute all of these are agreed of, we continue. We need to agree what to teach our kids at school. It's very simple. So Lebanon needs to reunite from the bottom up and agree on the culture. It's way more and much more and different than what people think and what the news tells you. It's not about who you elect. It's not about what you go on the news and say. It's not about the brainwashing you're getting. It's very simple. Go back to the basics. كتاب التاريخ وجغرافيا, history and geography books of the ones we studied in 1990, not too far away. We agreed on the goat of Lebanon and the arak of Lebanon and the meza of Lebanon and the heritage of Lebanon and definitions of Lebanon and who we are. We need to re-agree on this, as simple as it is. كل واحد يفهم على ذوقه. And we build a country up.
Beautiful. So you're saying you're going to run for president, Dr. Anthony? No,
I'm not Maronite.
I just finally, I wanted to ask you, in relation to God in your life, how important has God been in your life?
He's been everywhere. Everywhere. I've tried going to church every Sunday and then not. I've tried meeting priest every day and probably not. I've experienced all sides of it. And it's not about who goes more to church. It's not about how many times you pray a day. It's about, with all deep maturity you have, understanding that he does everything for you and with you. It's understanding how God is part of your blood, and waking up and every time something happens, smiling and say thank you without having to pray 10 prayers. Simple. Thank you. And one of the things I remind myself every day, I look up and say, Inshallah kun am ba'tika qad ma bta'tina. I hope I'm giving you as much as you're giving me. And whatever you're giving me is, you're giving me a'addi. You're giving me as much as I can handle. And remind yourself of, am I giving back enough? And that giving back, you cannot put money in the bank for God, but you can give by loving more, by hoping more, by supporting more, by spreading happiness more. And what is God? Is it as simple as it is? When people say, I'm away from God, man, all he's asking you is give more love. How hard it is. The love you give to your kids, give it to everyone. The hope you give to your kids, give it to everyone. If you're eating, eat with someone. Simple. It's as simple. Some people think that I do not have the money to give to charity. Don't give to charity. When you're eating, grab half the sandwich and give it to someone. This is enough. كل واحد عده. It's enough. Your connection with God is as simple as you might imagine, as simpler than all the complications you might think they are. When you have a direct highway between you and him, your way, and good enough. And my highway is 12 lanes.
12 lanes on the autostrada, huh?
صح.
Oh, you know, when you were saying that, there's a beautiful passage that Saint Mother Teresa once wrote about freedom, and she spoke about, in summation, it's quite a long one, but it's beautiful. It's about, you know, if God wants to put you in a mansion, you accept it. If he wants to put you on the street, you accept it. You don't choose it, but if that's what he wants for you, you accept it. And that's the surrender. And only then can you find true freedom. And when I heard you explaining that and listening to your story, I can see from your personality and from your we spoke about it, the energy that you have, that you're a man who has that inner peace and surrender. And I can tell that you're free, without limits, not in the sense that you don't have, you know, you don't have barriers. And it's not just because you're traveling a lot, but I feel and I can sense that you have really surrendered that to God. And you're, like you said, you're waking up in the morning and you're going out and saying, where am I going today? That in itself, I think, is an act of surrender. And that's why you give off that energy of freedom. Keep that up. Don't ever lose that, please. We need that more in the world, and you can see how much of a difference you're making.
Thank you.
Dr. Anthony Rahayel, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you all for listening and viewing, and we look forward to welcoming you to our next podcast very shortly. Thank you.